Yeah, good morning. Not morning. Hello, internet. Windy today, so sorry for all the racket, but we got a treat for you today. Let's see if I don't screw this up. All right, so we've got something fun. Won't start. We got this thingy with Bobby here. You gotta have one of those. Everybody's gotta have a clamp on the battery negative. This was kind of a mess from before because the ground wire got melted. Won't start. Got another thingamabob here for good keepings. Make sure you can always have spark detected whenever it's running. Let's see. We got some of these electrical wires down here. I unplugged that. That should be plugged back in, but I started already. Sorry about that. Briggs. Somebody's been playing around here with the old wire cap on my thingy. So let's see. We're gonna turn the parking brake on. Best thing to do is always start with the battery. I already know the battery is good because it cranks. So, but it's always good to start with the battery because you know, start digging into something, find out there's something bad with the connections or whatnot. So the solenoid's very wonky because it's clicking. You can hear a deep click, not just a small click. No spark on my thingy on there, so we gotta go play with that and see. What I wanted to do is this wire here, usually on a Briggs, you'll see a black wire that runs up into the coil. If you can get that unplugged, you can at least check for spark. A lot of them have a fuel solenoid wire, like right here, this gray wire. If you don't have power going to this, even this thing, you can have a bad connection and you'll get no run. You'll touch it with the key on in the run position and it'll click. And that's, you know, if it's cranking, not just the key on, because you could have your safety switches off and it won't get power, but that's usually a problem also. And so I'm gonna unplug this. I obviously had this unplugged. This indicated no spark. These things are garbage. Usually you can get spark. It'll kind of indicate. It'll be dim, but it'll indicate, and you'll think it has spark, but it doesn't. So we're gonna undo this mess here. See if I can set you down here. I can use two hands. A sophisticated mess. Yeah, this boat's pretty shot. Be alright. It's not strong enough a spark to jump to anything. Even though this is open, you know, it's not going to jump to anything. Looks like he has a new plug in here too. I think the coil's bad. Could be other issues causing that, but let's see what we get here. If it'll get. Come on. I'm gonna get my sparkler checker here. See if there's actually spark. See if it gets sparklers here. I'm gonna fall off here. Come on, Betsy. This solenoid's really going bad. It's getting stuck closed. Keeps cranking the engine. I don't think there's any spark here. Let's see if I can get this in a position. I'm not gonna fall off, and it'll jump up to about 3/4 gap. Usually 1/2 gap, pretty good. You don't want to be real close. If it's real close and you're getting spark, it's bad. And the train's here. They never blow their horn, only when I'm trying to do a video. Never blow their horn. Only because I'm trying to do a video. Baby. Yeah, that coil's dead. Unless they gapped it way big. Okay. We'll be back. Alright, we're inside now. So I'm gonna pull this blower housing off. 2 3/8 screws in the front, 2 in the back. One over yonder here. Sometimes there's this tiny little itty bitty screw, 1/4 inch. At least the tool is all 1/4 inch. Usually down here or down here, one of the two. So we're gonna pop this off and see what we got. Alright, got the blower housing off. Now, first thing I want to check, I'm playing around with the coil. I want to see what the gap is. You probably get sparked in just about any position, but it's supposed to be 10,000ths. I'm going to pull this ground wire off. We're just going to double check that we have no spark. Homemade spark detector here. Alright, I'm gonna go get a spark detector. I think it's driving me nuts. Yeah, the method of holding on to it, huh? Yeah. You still get no spark, you get a shock out of it too. Come on, Bessie. No spark. Bad coil. Other people say check these magnets over here in the flywheel, but I've never seen one go bad ever. Usually busted on the other side for the alternator. That's really common. Alright, we go get new coil, put new coil on, put Chinese coil on. Alright, we have our newfangled ignition coil here. Sparkling coil. Now this is your instructions, blah blah blah, cut this, do that. Actually, that's for the old coil. You just use this card as a gap card. That's your 10,000ths right there they give you. Pretty nice. So, if I can find my tool, we go pop this sucker off. Get one of them drills and screw this thing up. This is the old style coil. Actually, you better read. Sometimes people put these on. It says this side out. Sometimes they put it the other way. Put the coil on upside down and you get no spark. It's for, I don't know, half of these. Some of them are upside down. Some are, don't matter what way, but. Alright, interruption there. I rotate that around. Stick that in there. Find that ignition coil. Actually, some of these were thinner. They must have changed it. They used to be thinner and you'd have to add spacers. Focusing on the wrong thing. Still got this side out. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. This side out. That means this side out. If you look at this side, cylinder side. So pay attention to that. Then you just put that there, and the magnet holds it. And you don't have to do all this holding and doing this and that. Help you out. So you could do it one-handed and do YouTube videos at the same time. Well, you don't have to trim anything. It actually fits. You want to do this one because if you do the other one, it tends to pull the other leg away from the magnet. You get a weird gap. Things are getting smaller. All right, I'll find my newfangled spark checker here. Doesn't matter, you could do this, you can either connect this or disconnect it. Just to verify that you got the spark and you didn't screw it up. Shop noises. Alright. Now I get this thing to try to crank. Sparklers. Okay, let's go make some noise, shall we? Yay. One thing I want to check that's going to kill a coil is positive voltage going back to the ignition coil when it's not supposed to. So we're going to verify that before we plug that back in. Because somebody screwed with that and got positive 12 volts going back because they put the wrong key switch in there. You're going to go buy a new coil pretty quick. DC volts, we want to make sure that there's not positive voltage going to that black wire there, because if there is, there's going to be a problem. So what did they do here? White wire. So that is going to be the yellow wire.
Oh, John's on YouTube.
Oh,
While working.
I'm on YouTube.
You making a YouTube training film?
Yeah. 0 volts. Turn the key on. Still good. You get some funky feedback, but you'll be alright. As long as it ain't 12 volts. Alright, that seems okay. So the coil probably just died. Up and gave up the ghost. So we reconnect though. And then we're gonna go replace this solenoid because it's wonky. Shouldn't be wonky like that. Alright, we go get solenoid to replace that. Alright, we got our brand new solenoid installed here. Looking brand used. I'm gonna put this blower housing back on, but there's some things to note so you don't break more stuff that you don't want to, if you don't want to. So, 2 things. this flappy doodad here, and this thing. And you can see somebody already screwed up and didn't do that right. The other thing, you can get that jammed up under this plastic fan and bust all these fan things off, and then you'll be in a bigger problem than you really want. So number one, basically just stick this back on here. This, it's too dark in there. This has to go. Let's see if I can do this here. This has to be behind the plastic housing, which it was in front of. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got to be behind there. And it wants to be in front of it, which is wrong. And then this thing under here, man, I really need a light. I get a light. Let's see if I can show you this. Let's see, that goes there, and then this gets shoved up. There's a little fan thing. Yeah, I'll just do this. I'll take it back off. That little plastic thing here, that's where this fits into right here. It fits up in there when you put that on there. So, and as you can see, that is incorrect. It does not go like that. And you will shove that into the fan and probably break it. On this one, he lucked out. So you just have to be in the back side. It's hard to do one-handed, but you'll get it. You just have to get that behind there, not in front of it. You just have to get that on the other side. Just keep note of that. You'll figure it out. Alright, we got the old blower housing on. And we got our nice clip lead here connected. I might fix that, don't know. Seems to work pretty good. And we'll put the air filter back in the correct way, not the wrong way. This goes in here, like so. And this goes, looking pretty bad. Goes in there. Yada, yada, yada. All right. Well, hope you learned something today. And I'll take care and see you in the next one, eh?